Here on the Heart Centre Business podcast, I often talk about business strategy and the practical ways that you can grow your business, grow your audience, and get better results by having a better strategy. But I consistently remind you that it's a combination of mindset and strategy that contributes to our results overall. So in today's podcast episode, I'm going to share with you my 5 favorite mindset specialists that I think you should follow and why. This is episode number 457, which means you can find the relevant links and show notes for today's episode at tashcorbin.com/457. And I will have a link to the socials and websites of each of these mindset specialists. Let's dive in. Hello, I'm Tash Corbin, a business strategist and mentor based on the Sunshine Coast in Australia. The mission of this podcast is to help heart-centered entrepreneurs to make more money and in doing so, change the world for the better. This podcast was recorded on the lands of the Gubbi Gubbi and Jinnaburra people. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. So I am a big fan of following mindset specialists, and there's lots of different people that I follow for different reasons. So what I thought I'd do in today's episode is share with you my top 5 faves and why they're my favorites, in case you're looking for some mindset specialists to follow yourself. So the first mindset specialist that I follow and have followed since before I started my business is Denise Duffield-Thomas. Denise and I actually were part of a university club together, so I've known her for a long time, and she is responsible for me starting my business in the first place. I actually joined her money bootcamp before I started my business. I joined back when I was working in corporate consulting with the intention of manifesting more commissions. And most of the other people who were in Money Bootcamp were business owners or entrepreneurs. And in that first round of doing Money Bootcamp, I did a lot of mindset work around my resistance to being a business owner and some of the baggage and family history stuff that I had, some of the stories that were big warning red flags about being a business owner, and really cleared a lot of my resistance to having my own business thanks to Money Bootcamp. And so then I started my business in 2013. I love Denise because money is a big mindset barrier for me. It's something that I have a lot of family stories about, a lot of my own history with, but a lot of money mindset people out there involve a lot of horrific bypassing and gaslighting in the space, and a lot of unacknowledged privilege happening in the manifesting space as well, especially in money mindset. So, people who have trust accounts and trust funds and a lot of white privilege and a lot of ableist privilege who talk about, oh, I manifested this and I manifested that, but they don't acknowledge the existing privilege that they had. And there's just a lot of just be positive, babe. And there's a lot more to money mindset, manifesting, and inclusive approaches to money mindset and manifesting. And Denise really nails it for me. She acknowledges her privilege, but she also platforms people from marginalized communities and acknowledges some of the additional challenges, and there's no bypassing of actual lived experiences and challenges that we experience. And I absolutely love that about the way that Denise teaches money mindset. So Denise Duffield-Thomas, I'm sure you probably already follow her if you follow me, but if not, make sure you go and check her out. The next person I recommend following in the mindset space is Kerry Rowett. Kerry spoke at the 2024 Heart Centre Business Conference. She's also my mindset practitioner that I'm working with at the moment one-on-one. Kerry is a magical creature. Kerry is deeply intuitive. She just knows how to read your energy instantly. Her insights are so, so valuable. And she works just as effectively with a group as she does one-on-one. So in the end of 2024, here on this podcast, Kerry did an intuitive reading for the listeners of the Heart Centre Business podcast. and in planning posse calls, in the takeoff calls, and on Facebook Lives that I've done since then. That is the number one podcast episode that people recommend others should listen to because of the insights that Kerry shared. And it was so valuable, and I'm so grateful for her for sharing that. Kerry uses a combination of Reiki, kinesiology, intuitive readings, energy work, and mindset work to support people to overcome their next kind of big barrier in their business and identify what that mindset block might be or that energetic block might be. And she is so spectacular at doing it. I've also done Kerry's Align and Attract course before, and Kerry has a book called Align and Attract, so we'll link to all of those in the show notes. Number 3, Claire Kerslake. So I absolutely love emotional freedom technique or tapping, EFT. And I have worked with probably 7 or 8 different tapping practitioners in my time as a business owner. I first found out about EFT from Denise in her money boot camp. And my first time doing money boot camp, I just faked it till I made it with EFT. I thought it was completely pointless. I didn't quite understand it. But I decided to just do it because it was part of the process. And by the end of that first 6-week round, I was hooked. I totally understood. I could feel the difference before and after a tapping session. I could feel that uncovering of the next layer of what was going on for me. And so I decided to explore working with EFT practitioners one-on-one because I thought that would be very helpful for my mindset as a business owner, but for lots of different things that I wanted to achieve in my life. And out of all the tapping practitioners that I've worked with, I have found Claire's style to be the most conducive to me achieving my goals. Claire is the perfect combination of kind and insightful, and she is willing to kind of call you out on things you might gloss over, but she does it really gently. There is something magical about being in Claire's presence and working with Claire that for me, I feel the most expansive and I feel like I shift things the fastest when I work with Claire. And I've worked with Claire on and off over the last few years. And in 2025, I will definitely be working with Claire again. Every time I'm going for a new stretch goal, or I can feel I've got some extra resistance coming up, or something feels hard, that's a big one that we work on. It's hard for me, or I have to work hard, or I have to do it the hard way. That's certainly when I would call on Claire's expertise. And sometimes that's working with her in one-on-one sessions. Sometimes that's grabbing some of her beautiful free resources. And if I see Claire pop up doing a Facebook Live tapping session, if I've got the time to stop and watch it, I will stop and watch it because I find her approach really, really aligns with my style. Number 4 is Christine Collins. I am a member of Christine's Hypnopothecary, which is a beautiful collection of hypnosis and meditation audios that Christine has available. It is super cheap to belong to it. It's a small monthly fee to get access to all of Christine's amazing recordings. I've also commissioned unique personal hypnosis audios from Christine previously. And the thing that I love about Christine's mindset work the most is that it is so powerful and gentle. It is this gentle but powerful shift. Christine's hypnosis audios are soothing. There's one in particular that I love listening to over and over again that helps me to get to sleep. And yet I feel so, I feel so changed and shifted by Christine's gorgeous voice and the powerful way that she helps to shift things. There's another hypnosis of Christine's that I listen to when I want to get into the creative space, and it really feels like it's opening me up to new possibilities. And I feel like I see the world in slightly brighter colors or something. I don't know. There's just something really magical about that one. And Christine for me is just like the embodiment of gentle power. And I absolutely love and adore that about her. So I love following Christine. Her newsletters are also a joy to read. And her content online is also that beautiful, joyful, gentle, but magical kind of combination. There's something like, I can't even put words to it clearly, but there's just something really special about Christine, and I'm so grateful to have found her. And then number 5 is M. Rusciano. Now, I wouldn't say that M would call herself a mindset practitioner or a mindset specialist, but M is a content creator. She was an Australian Idol performer or entrant. I don't know what you call finalist, I guess, who is also a comedian. And the reason why I say M is a mindset specialist I follow is because she creates content about ADHD, autism, and perimenopause. And it's very straight talking. It's very honest. She grabs experts and interviews them for her content. It's so validating to hear someone else's experience that's quite similar to mine. She's a little bit older than me, and I feel like I'm going through everything a year after she does. And it's not that sort of like gaslighting-y, you can't trust yourself kind of stuff. It's like, listen to your body, listen to what you want. Your feelings are valid. Your emotions are valid. Your experience is valid. It's so validating. And I love that about her content. And it really helps me to stop being cranky with myself or frustrated with myself. And it helps me to instead feel empowered to access the supports and adjustments and accommodations I need, and just accept that I need those accommodations. Instead of wishing that I was neurotypical, I create an environment that aligns with what I need. Instead of wishing that I wasn't going through all the hormonal changes of perimenopause, I just accept I'm going through perimenopause, and I do the things that I need to do to support myself through that process. And that's such a big shift for me. And I'm really, really grateful that M has just so wholeheartedly and open-mindedly dove into these topics in her content. I don't think it was planned on her part. I just think she just openly shares what's going on with her. And it has been so insightful and so helpful for me. And it's created huge mindset shifts for me. So that's why I included her in the list. So there are my 5 favourite mindset specialists to follow: Denise Duffield-Thomas, Kerry Rowett, Claire Kerslake, Christine Collins, and M. Rusciano. I'll make sure I link to their socials and their websites in the show notes of today's episode at tashcorbin.com/457. Thank you so much for joining me this episode. And until next time, I cannot wait to see you shine. Bye for now.